Alright, welcome to today's video where I'm going to be exploring Layering Solution by Kelty Inks. Sorry, I think the camera is wobbling. And please ignore this mess over here. Yeah, so I'm going to be exploring this on wooden canvases and normal canvases, and just to see what kind of layering abilities it has. I have tried this on Yupo before, and I loved how it worked. It does work. You can layer the inks, but it did peel off. So I'm hoping that that's not the case on wooden canvases and normal canvases, but let's give it a go and see what happens. I use mostly these wooden canvases, and this has been a bit of a trial piece that I've had for a while. As you can see, it's all messy on the edges, but I keep priming it. So I painted it white underneath, and then I put, I've already painted it on and let it dry, but I painted a layer of this on the top of that. So I want to see how that works in comparison to other times that I've used it just without. And then I've also done canvas. I don't typically work on canvas. As you can see, it's a kind of used one as well. But I painted one side with the Kelty inks and then not the other. So I want to see kind of how, if it shows any difference in how it moves around the canvas with the layering solution versus not. So yeah, I'm going to use my pitch black. I love this color. And dilute it with my alcohol. You get lots of different colours that come through, so hopefully we'll see that on the canvases, and yeah, we'll see how it works, shall we? Okay, so maybe I'll start with this one. Probably not the best gloves, I've got holes in these, but hey ho. So I'm going to put my alcohol down first. This is the side that doesn't have the layering solution on. So as you can see, we have got some of the colours coming through on here that come through when you thin out the black, but it isn't sitting smoothly. You definitely see the grain of the canvas underneath, so it could be a good thing or a bad thing. And now I'm going to try it on the side that has a thin layer of layering solution. So I'll apply it in the same way with my alcohol first. So interestingly, we didn't really get any blues coming through on this side, maybe a hint of a blue there, but we got more of the purple tones. So I don't know if that's just by chance, or if the layering solution had anything to do with that. I'm not sure. To be honest, I feel like it moved pretty similarly. I don't see much difference between the two of them. Maybe what might be a good experiment is once this is dry, I'll put on another layer of this and then see if the whole idea of this is that you can build up different colors on top without the underneath moving. So that might be a nice kind of experiment to do next. But ultimately, I did not see any benefit to putting that other color down. putting the layering solution down first. So let's try on our other wooden canvas. I'm going to try putting the ink down first and see if we get like a staining, because quite often when you do these things, if you don't put it into the alcohol, you get like a blob to start with. So let's see if that happens.
So now I'm just seeing how well the ink lifts off of the layering solution with a little bit of alcohol on the cotton bud.
So it's lifting off really nicely.
So I've noticed on here there are little spots everywhere, and I think that was because I mistakenly shook the layering solution before I put it on, which creates air bubbles. So I don't think it got a proper coverage, but it's kind of a cool effect.
I'm just going to go in on this one and see if we can remove any of the color easily. So our blue side was without the layering solution. Which has come off pretty good. And then on the left side is our layering solution. Which has come off pretty good, but not as cleanly as that. Now I don't know if it's because of the pink tones that have come through that it's stained, or if it's just because of being on the layering solution or not versus on the canvas. But interesting experiment. Yeah, this is still quite speckled looking, but we have got both of the colours coming through, so I can't imagine that it's the layering solution that's changed that, because I put the layering solution over all of this, so not sure why that would be so different on this one. But the effect is overall the same, but I am going to go on and try and put on another layer and then do a different colour on top and see what kind of effect that we get from there. So we're just going to keep it to that one side, the layering solution, so we can see how layering it up on this side without has an effect or not. And now I just put loads on there. So what I found with this product previously, when I tried layering it on top of Yupo, which is how I used to work on Yupo paper, I found that it actually peeled off, which not great if you're trying to layer an image. I think it's acting a little bit differently on the canvas and on the wooden hardboard, because I think it adheres better than on the Yupo paper. So, but I will give that a test. Once these layers are dry, I will try kind of getting an edge and peeling it off. So I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to come in on this. I think it's pretty dry. I'm just going to give it a little blast with a hairdryer. Okay, I'm going to paint just one half of it to see if there's any difference in layering it up. Like, will this side move or not? And hopefully this side, the left side, doesn't move because we've got the added layer of layering solution on there, so it should stay the same. Okay, now to let those dry.
So just to let you know, I do have the hairdryer on a cool setting to try and speed up the drying process, which is advised on the Kelty website.
Okay, so interestingly, as I was testing to see if that was dry or not, it actually came off. The layering solution came off, so I don't know if because it was tacky it brought up the layer underneath. It's still a little bit tacky in places, so I'm going to leave that and then see how the other bits are affected. This one, it feels dry. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of test on this. I should probably have waited a bit longer, but I do want to just get on with it because I'm impatient. Having a little glove malfunction here. Can't get them out. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's give this a go. I'm going to use a colour, actually I'm going to use a yellow. I'm going to use Dandelion Yellow because it's a colour that's not on there and not in the black, but also because if it starts to reactivate what's underneath, you should get a dirtier yellow kind of where it's mixing, whereas it should be clean on this side where the layering solution is. So let's give that a go. So you can definitely see how it's mixed with the black on this one, because we've got clean yellow there where the white is, and then it's definitely mixed with the black on that side. So let's see on this side how it is. So that's quite nice. You can definitely tell the difference on there, although you obviously got the colour underneath affecting the brightness of the yellow. It's not actually mixed with it. This one you can tell it's mixed because it's gone like this greeny shade. You definitely got it clearer and brighter where the lighter bits are, where it's more white or grey, but where it's sitting on where it's darker, it's just a slightly darker yellow rather than it mixing. So that's quite nice to be able to have that layering effect within there. So let's have a look on this one. Okay, so this is dry now. Definitely took longer to dry on here, even with the hairdryer, than it did on the wooden canvas, so that's interesting. And definitely peeled off there. I'm not rubbing too hard because I want to just see how the yellow works on there first, and then figure out if this is going to stay on there or not. So I'm going to use the yellow both sides. So So a few things to note. It definitely, so this is our side without the second layer of, or without any layering solution. And you can see that where we did our removal line, it's actually started to blur because it has reactivated the ink underneath, which is what we expect, although a little less on canvas because I imagine it soaks in more than it does obviously on Yupo, but it's still moving those inks underneath, and you get to see the texture of the canvas, and the colors aren't as bright either. And then if we come over to this one where the second layering of layering solution went on, we've really kept that defined line that we removed earlier, and you can actually see some of the patterns that are underneath that were there before. So definitely works. It definitely creates a barrier between your layers of alcohol ink, so definitely a really useful thing in certain parts of the painting. Now the only thing that I would like to test is if the layering solution peels off or not. So it's definitely dry. Can see a bit of a edge down there. I'm rubbing pretty hard, but it's definitely not coming off easily. I think in the middle there still a bit wet just because it's on the canvas, but maybe I'll just give that a quick dry. So yeah, so where I've already created an edge, it is gonna start peeling, but I think what happened is I just hadn't let it dry long enough, and it's the same as similar consistency, I think, and works in a similar way to masking fluid. And maybe it is just a clear masking fluid, I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe that's why this is coming off, because along the edges and along this line here, it's definitely not lifting up too easy. So just have a bit more patience than I did and let it dry fully. And it's definitely a product that you could use to do different layers and create different effects in there. I'm just going to see on my other canvas how easily it might come up or not. This is the side where it's got the second coat on, but as you can see, there is nothing coming up. So it's definitely adhered better than when you use it on Yupo. So yeah, I'm trying not to rub on the yellow bit too much just because I know that it's maybe a little bit tacky still, but along that edge, yeah, it's definitely not coming up and you can't peel it off. Overall, I think this is a product that is really good. Maybe not one to use on Yupo. I feel like it does come up too easily on Yupo, but if you're working on different surfaces like these small canvases, well, the size doesn't matter, but you know what I mean. If you're working on wooden canvas or regular canvas, it's an amazing product for that. It's not coming up. You definitely get the layering effect. Personally, I don't enjoy how much more dull it is on here. You can see that it's a little bit shinier even on just the wood side. Well, it's got one layer of layering solution on there, but it's brighter and a little bit shinier on where you're doing the layering solution. I find on the canvas it does absorb it and it just mattes the color, but maybe that's the effect that you're going for. So anyway, I hope that is helpful to you and something you can use down the road, and maybe let me know your thoughts and ideas if you have used it before, or if you have any questions, let me know.